This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 9, 2023. And in the news tonight, opposition wants SLB guarantor requirement removed for all. The opposition wants the government to remove the guarantor requirement for all students' loans bureau applicants. On Tuesday, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark told the budget debate in Parliament that beneficiaries of the Program of Advancement through Health and Education who apply to the SLB will not need guarantors to support their applications come September. Clark said that the no-guarantor policy reaped success with wards of the state, with the SLB now having 98 applicants from that category, up from 46 a year before. Contributing to the debate this afternoon, opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, argued that the policy should be extended to all persons. He argued that the need for guarantors is the main impediment to accessing funding for many. Robinson contended that one of the main reasons students are not enrolling in tertiary education is because of a lack of funding. Wanted man killed in police operation. A wanted man was shot and killed in a police operation in West Kingston this afternoon. He is Keron Kadula Angus, who had eluded capture for some time. The police had reported that the 31-year-old was wanted for a double murder. Details of the incident have not been released by the police. 3 killed in separate incidents in St. James on Wednesday. The St. James police are reporting that 3 men were shot and killed in separate incidents in just under 12 hours on Wednesday. The men, who are all from St. James, have been identified as 33-year-old Sean Porter, otherwise called Cricks, a bartender of Cornwall Courts, 22-year-old Derek Ellis, unemployed of Shantytown in Norwood, and the 37-year-old Jermaine Wood, otherwise called the Pinchers, unemployed of Pelly Drive in Flanker. Porter was shot and killed by a lone gunman about 9 a.m. on Wednesday while he and his common-law wife were at home in Cornwall Courts. About 7:15 p.m., Ellis was sitting on his veranda in Shantytown, Norwood, when he was ambushed and shot by unknown assailants, while Hood was gunned down about 20 minutes later while talking on his cellular phone along Pelly Drive. Mentally ill man chopped to death along Mopey's hip strip. The Barnett Street Police in St. James are seeking the help of members of the public in identifying a man who is believed to be of unsound mind who was killed along a section of Jimmy Cliff Boulevard in Montego Bay on Tuesday morning. Investigators say the victim, who is of dark complexion and believed to be in his early 30s, was clad in a yellow t-shirt, black jeans pants, and a pair of black slippers. Reports are that about 6:25 a.m., a team of officers were on patrol along Jimmy Cliff Boulevard when they stumbled upon the body of the unidentified man with what appeared to be multiple chop wounds. The victim was lying on his back. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem examination. Man shot and killed in Longville Park, Clarendon. A man was shot dead along Onturium Avenue in Longville Park, Clarendon on Wednesday. Police have identified the deceased as a 30-year-old Rand Folks, also known as a Tyrone and a Tallman, of Farm Effortville in the parish. Reports are that about 8:30 p.m., residents heard several loud explosions and summoned the police. On their arrival, Folks was found along the roadway with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the upper body. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. While a suspect is yet to be identified, the police theorize Folks' demise stems from his involvement in criminal activities. The news understands that he was released from prison in 2020 after serving 18 months for being in possession of an illegal weapon. The news understands that he was released from prison in 2020 after serving 18 months for being in possession of an illegal firearm. The murder has caused the worry for residents of Longville Park, as one of the country's most notorious gangsters, Nestor Bigger Crime Morrison, was shot and killed in the community by security forces a month ago. Since the incident, the police have raised an alarm imploring residents to be more vigilant, citing the migration of criminals to relatively peaceful communities. Vibes cartel juror sentenced to 9 months in prison. The juror, who was found guilty of offering a $500,000 bribe to the jury foreman to influence other jurors to return a not guilty verdict in the Vibes cartel murder trial, was this morning sentenced to 9 months in prison. Parish Judge Maxine Ellis sentenced Livingston Kane on a charge of attempting to pervert the course of justice. Following the sentencing, attorney-at-law Jeffrey Reed indicated that he would be appealing and applied for bail on humanitarian grounds, but the judge refused. Ellis insisted that there was no medical before her on which to rely and advised the lawyer to renew his application before the court of approval. Kane was found guilty last December. The court heard that he had offered the money to a female juror in the case, which was brought against the dancehall artist Vibes Cartel. Cartel, whose given name is Adidja Palmer, was eventually found guilty along with Sean Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John for killing Clive Lizard Williams at a house in Havendale, St. Andrew in August 2011. Kane is represented by Valrenita Robertson, KC. Government gives a tax break on second-sale motor vehicles. The government is moving to reduce the amount of general consumption tax paid on second-sale motor vehicles. Currently, general consumption tax of 15% is paid on the full sale price on such sales by registered dealers. But Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark says upcoming legislation will see GCT being paid only on the markup.
A rate of 15% on the dealer dollar margin rather than the full cost price. So you buy the vehicle from somebody for $100 and you sell it for $120, you pay the GCT on the 20. And that small change, Madam Speaker, will catalyze a new subsector in Jamaica. This change, when it's implemented, you're going to have new businesses being established in the country.
The Jamaica Used Car Dealers Association has welcomed the move by the government to lower the tax liability on second-sale vehicles. Longville Hamilton, president of the association, noted that under the previous arrangement, people were forced into private deals to avoid the enormous and unreasonable tax on the full cost of the motor vehicle. He said the government's move should now encourage more people to sell their vehicles to registered dealers rather than entering into these private arrangements.
I would want to think that it would be more of a benefit than of a loss. What the government is trying to do is to encourage persons owning locally owned vehicles here to sell their vehicles to the used cars. Is trying to get those selling locally owned vehicles into the tax net. Because what would have happened before is that the GCT should have been on the sale of the total sale of the vehicle, which would have been enormous and unreasonable in my view. And what you would find, a number of persons would evade tax for that regime. But this is more encouraging, I would believe. But one of the things that I noticed the government did not take into consideration, I don't know if they did, is that normally when dealers purchase vehicles from persons locally, what would happen? They would refurbish the cars, so to speak. They would recondition them. And there's a cost associated with that. But what we know the government says is that it's just what you sell. It's the difference between what you sell the car, what you bought the car for, and what you sold it for. I think the repair cost should be taken into consideration. And the tax, the GCT is on that portion, that difference.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.